Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. In previous video, I have shown you how to add a click listener on item view inside this recycler view. When I click on this, I have shown you how to design this new activity and how to actually extract the image and the username from the Firebase database and show it over here. And how to perform this back button. I've also shown all of these stuff in my previous video. So if you haven't watched that video, then just go to description there. I put the link for my previous video. Okay, so in this video, I'm going to show you how to design for the sender and receiver items. So let me just show you what exactly we are going to design. So let me just close this and I'm going to open my complete app, that is WhatsApp. And if I open it, and it will take few seconds to load. Okay, here you can see this is Rohit. So if I click on this, here you can see this, for the receiver we have a separate design and for the sender we have a separate design, and this design is actually, the width of this design is same as the text size. Here you can observe this is I am good is in small, then this sender view is also small. Here you can see this, the receiver text is large, so this view is also large. So I'm going to design this stuff. After that, we are going to set this and we perform the send and receive operation. Okay, so let me just close this and let's start designing with this one. So first thing what we have to do is, let me just close all of these because we don't need these for now. I'm going to collapse this all because we are going to work only on the drawable and layout. So first I'm going to add two drawable files into this one. So one is for this backend. First, I'm going to design two views, one the white one, and this one is the another backend for this one. And here you can observe that the arrow on the receiver is on the left and the arrow on the sender is on the right. So we are going to first design this backend. So for that, we have to go into the browser. And we need to search for this one, Chatbubble XML in Android. And when you search this, you will find a first over here, that is Stack Overflow. If you click on this and if you go below a little bit, here you can see this say PZ underscore income bubble. So we have to simply copy this code like this one. Copy this. After this, we have to move inside our project. And first we have to create a drawable file. So new, and create a drawable resource file, and I'm going to name this one bg underscore receiver and click on enter, and this will add stuff like this, ctrl-a and paste it, and it's showing an error. So we have to actually change the color. So I'm going to change the color to white, and here you can see this is the corner, and I'm going to also change this one to white. And here you can see this is on the receiver message, which will be on the left side. So here you can observe we have this small arrow on the left side. So we have to make few changes. First, I'm going to change this left to 8 dp, so we can have this small arrow. And after that, I'm going to change, we have already changed the color, and I'm going to change this radius. This is good. Okay, so 4 dp, and this one is -45 000 rectangle. Color is set, and yeah, everything is ready. So now BG receiver is ready. This is what we are going to set into the background of this one. Here you can see this. We are going to design a separate layout for this one, for the sender and receiver. And for that layout, in that layout, we have to set a background. So this is the background, that is BG receiver for this one. Okay. Now we are going to design one drawable file for sender. So click on this drawable file, and I'm going to select, give it a name, that is bg underscore sender. Hit enter, and again we have to move to the browser, and here you can see this. Just copy this code and move back over here and simply select all and paste it. Again we have to change the color. So this is the light gray or green, yeah, green. And here you can observe this one. We have actually added the color in the first video. So I'm going to use those colors, and here you can observe this is in the light green color, and we have the corner over here. So if you want to keep it long and sharp, then you can just keep it as 16 dp, but I want this little bit smaller. So I'm going to set this one to 8 dp. Now we have set the color, and now these two stuff are ready. So now we are going to close this drawable file, and into this layout I'm going to create a new layout that will be the sample receiver. So right click on this, click on this layout resource file, and I'm going to create a sample underscore receiver. Hit enter. This will create a sample receiver.xml. Just split it, and here first thing we have to make some changes into this one. We are going to work on the constraint layout, so that's totally fine. We are not going to change it to anything else. Okay, now first change this width and height to wrap content and wrap content. Okay, after this we are going to set the layout margin start, and I'm going to set this one to 5 dp. I'm going to set the margin from all sides, so left will be of 5 dp, and from top it will be of 4 dp, from right it will be of 7 dp. After this I'm going to set the background for this one, so background will be @drawable, and we have set this one for pg underscore receiver. If I click on this, now the background for this one will be set, and I'm going to set the max width, and this will be 310 dp, and max height will be 400 dp, and I will set the min height to 30 dp. Okay, so these constraint layout, we need to set the max and min height, because suppose if there is a small message, then it needs to be for that much message only. Here you can see this, we have this, and I'm going to send a long message like I am ABC, and I'm going to type like this one, and if I send it, and here you can see this, now the width for this one is this much only, and the height for this much is the increase. So we are going to set a maximum width. So this is what we have done over here. So max width will be 310 dp. So this is 310 dp width, and the maximum height will be 400 dp. I can still type a longer message than this one. This is not 410 dp. Okay, so we are actually setting the message for now at the receiver for this one. Okay, so this needs to be set similar in the both the sample receiver and sample sender. Okay, so not to worry about that. So we have set these properties for this one. Inside this one we have two text views. One is to show the message and one is to show the time. So I'm going to create one text view, and this height and width will be wrap content, and wrap content I'm going to set the ID for this one. ID will be receiver text. After this I'm going to set the layout margin. Layout margin will be of 8 dp. After this I'm going to set the input text type, and it will be text long message, and it will be text multi-line message like this one. Okay, it's showing some sort of issue. Yeah, now issue is resolved. Actually I have put one extra space, that's why it's showing in the red color. After this I'm going to set a max width for this one, that will be of 270 dp, and min width will be of it will be of not 200, it will be of 50 dp. After this I'm going to set the text. So text for this one will be text view. Now you can see this. Now we can see the text over here. Let me just zoom it, and here you can see this. We can see the text. After this I'm going to constrain it to top of. You can manually constrain it with the help of GUI, but I'm going to constrain it with the help of code. That is actually simple. Okay, so constraint bottom to top of, and we are going to constrain it to top of the time over here. So we haven't added the time, so we can't put the ID for that one over here. So I'm going to create one text view over here for now, and this will be of wrap content, and I'm going to set the ID for this one. That will be receiver time, and let's close it for now. Okay, we are going to work it on this one later. Okay, so this is showing an error. This is receiver text, and here we are going to put it over this receiver time. So I'm going to put it ID receiver time above this one. After this, I'm going to set to end of. Now our layout is out of the box because this layout is in the center and in the middle of this. Okay, so we are going to constrain it properly. After that, it will be on place for sure. To end, the end to end of, and I'm going to set this one to parent. After this, I'm going to constrain it to start off. Constrain this to start off, and I'm going to add a guideline over here. Okay, so we also have to add a guideline. So I'm going to add a guideline over here first, make some space, and I'm going to add a guideline, and the height and width will be for this one wrap content, and wrap content I'm going to set ID for this one. ID will be guideline 2, and I'm going to set the orientation to vertical, and I'm going to set this one begin, this one, the app layout constraint guide begin to 16 dp, like this one, and just close this. Here you can see this. Now this is our guide view, guideline actually. So whatever text we are going, whatever the image text view we are going to put, it will be on this right of this guideline. So that's why we put this over here, so that the cone, the arrow of the message, here you can see this, we're going to put a guideline over here, so whatever text will be appear after the guideline. So that's why you can see the blank space over here. In the same way on the sender messages also. Okay, so we are going to do that. So now we have successfully added the guideline. After this, I'm going to constrain these text view with the guideline so that it will be on automatically on the right place. So this will be ID, and I'm going to put the guideline 2, and I'm going to, here you can see this. Now this rectangle automatically move on the right of this guideline. If I remove this, if I press the Ctrl Z key, and now this ID will be removed, then automatically it will move on the left. Okay, so ID, and it will be guideline 2. After this, I'm going to constrain this to top to top of parent, and it will automatically come under the this one. Okay, after this, I'm going to set this vertical bias, not this one, constraint vertical bias, this one. I'm going to set this one to 1.0, like this. This is still out of the box because we haven't aligned this second text view. So I'm going to align this or constrain this properly so that we can adjust it. So I'm going to set the margin first. So margin end, and margin end will be of 4 dp. After that, I'm going to set the margin right. So margin right will be also of 4 dp, and bottom margin. So I'm going to set this one to 3 dp or 4 dp. It's on your choice. And I'm going to set the text, default text will be 12:56 PM, like this one. And I'm going to set the text size to 10 sp, and I'm going to constrain this one to bottom of parent. And after this, I'm going to constrain this to end of parent, like this one. And here you can see this. Now this one is constrained and it's looking nice. If I zoom out, and you can observe this. Okay, so if I set a background color for this one, not this one, okay, this, okay, we can't see that busy receive because it's not visible. This corner shape is not visible. What I'm going to do is I'm going to change the background color for this one so that we can see the difference. So if I change this one to black, or not black actually, I'm going to change this one to color primary, like this one. And I'm also going to change this one to color primary so that we can see the output of that. So color primary. So here you can see this. Now we have the corner. If I move back over here, now here you can see this, how actually this one is designed. Okay, so previously the background is also white color and the text, the design is also in the white color, so we can't able to see the exact output. But now we can see the exact output. Our receiver part is ready. So the text view will be of this one. If I increase the text inside this, let's check what will happen. If I increase the text like this one, and here you can observe the maximum width will be of this. If I increase this maximum width, allowed width, to more than 270, then it will extend till there. Okay, so for now this one is 270. So this one is looking nice and it's working fine. Okay, so I'm going to just undo it and I'm going to reverse the color over here. I'm going to change this one to white and this one to white also. And now this is the task for the sender receiver, sample receiver is done. Now I'm going to create a new layout that is for sample sender. So create a layout and this will be sample sender underscore sender and hit on enter. After this, click on split, and here first I'm going to set some properties inside this one. That now sample sender is created. So first thing what we have to do is we have to change this constraint layout to relative layout, and we are going to work on the relative layout. Okay, so inside this relative layout, first we have to change the height and width to wrap content, and height will be also of wrap content. Okay, after this I'm going to set or put a recycler view, not the recycler view, actually constraint layout into this one. So constraint layout and height and width will be wrap content and wrap content. After this I'm going to set the align parent bottom, parent right to true. After this I'm going to set the margin start and I'm going to set this one to 5 dp. After this I'm going to set the margin from left, that will be also 5 dp. After this I'm going to set the margin from top 5 dp. Finally end margin to 7 dp. I'm going to put a right margin of 7 dp. After this I'm going to set a background for this one. So background will be what we have created, that is drawable bg sender. So if I search for this one, that is over here, bg sender, and for now it's not visible because it's on the wrap content and we haven't put anything inside this constraint layout, so that's why it's not visible. So I'm going to put two text view, one is for text and one is for time. Okay, inside this one I'm going to set allow the max width, let me just type like this, Android max width, it will be 310 dp like this one, and Android max height is equal to, it will be of 400 dp, and Android min height is equal to 30 dp. And here you can see this, the min height is automatically set, that is of 30 dp. And let me simply close this. Inside this one we have to put a guideline first, so I'm going to put a guideline inside this one. So I'm going to put a guideline, and this will be the wrap content. And wrap content I'm going to set the ID for this one, and the ID for this one will be guideline 2. I'm going to set the same ID, that doesn't make any sense, that doesn't make any change in our coding style. Okay, I'm going to set the orientation to vertical, and after that I'm going to constraint guide, and I'm going to put a end, this one constraint guide end to 16 dp, and just close this. Now our guideline is ready. After this we have to put one text view, that is for message. So text view, and this will be the sender text. So height and width will be wrap content, and wrap content ID will be sender underscore or text like this one. After this I'm going to put some padding. So start margin start, and I'm going to set this one to 8 dp. Margin left margin left to 8 dp. Margin top and bottom to 4 dp. So margin top to 4 dp and margin bottom, I'm going to set this one to 3 dp for now. Okay, after this we have to set the input type, so that will be text long message, and it will be text multi-line. Okay, we don't need to put this space over here. Yeah, that's totally fine. After this, I have to set the max width, that will be of 270 dp, and min width will be of 50 dp. After this, I'm going to set the text inside this one, that is, I'm going to set btechdays. And when I put the text, now you can see the color over here. Now the background is visible, but we haven't constrained this with the guideline. That's why it's btechdays. You can see this out of the box, out of this message pop-up. Okay, so we are going to adjust this by constraining this with the guidelines and also with the time. Okay, so btechdays, and now before we constrain this, I'm going to add one more text view. So text view, that will be the sender time. So height and width will be wrap content, and wrap content, I'm going to set the ID for this one, that will be the sender time, and I'm going to set the margin end, that will be of 4 dp, and margin right, that will be of 4 dp. After this, I'm going to set this margin to bottom, that will be of 4 dp as well. After this, I'm going to set the text. The text, I'm going to set this one 12:45, and this will be PM, and make some space over here, or just leave it like this. Okay, after this, I'm going to set the text size to 10 sp. Now for now, this text is overlap over this one. Okay, so I'm going to constrain this properly so that it will appear on the left corner of this one. Okay, so first I'm going to constrain to bottom of parent, and this will be to start of end to start of at the rate ID, and it will be guideline 2. Here you can see this. And to start of guideline 2. Let me just close this. Now this one is on the proper position. Now we are going to add few constraint layout into this one. Constrain this text view properly. So this will be to top of. So we have to constrain the bottom to top of ID, sender time, like this one. After this, we have to constrain to start of, end to start off, and we have to set the ID, that is guideline 2, like this one. Now it's on the left side. After this, I'm going to constrain this to start off parent, start of parent, like this one. After this, we have to constrain to top to top of parent, like this one. And finally, we have to set the bias, this one, and we have to set this one to 0.0. And here you can observe now this time is set. Actually, I explained you wrong a little bit. We have to set this time on the right side, as in our app you can see this, the time is on the right side. Okay, so in the both case, the time is always on the right side. You can adjust it on the left side, but in our app we have designed it on the right side. Okay, so we have adjusted this properly, and here you can see this according to the guideline, this one is set. If I zoom in more, so we can see how this will look. If I enter a long text, then it will change it according to the size. The size of this one will be changed according to the text size. Okay, so now we have actually created the sample sender and the sample receiver in this video. So that's it for this video, guys. In the next video, I'm going to show you how to actually send message from one user to another user, and how to show those texts in the these views and also how to store those messages in the Firebase database. So till then, subscribe, like, and share with your friends. Thanks for watching.